Oh, we just calling the.
Okay.
Okay.
Can open the meeting.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order today's BR meeting, it being the 6th of July at 5:31. And I'd just like the bar members to read their names into the file. So
William Mincy.
Stephanie Renzo
Tom Birmingham, Christopher Gow.
and Christina Nemec is available via Zoom. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great, perfect. Yes, thank you. So just first of all, before we start, can I just make sure that we have not received any letters from any neighbors about any of the projects?
Correct. We have not received any letters. Today refer the correct. There's been no negative.
Okay, that's fantastic. So we can start with the first applicant. Thank you so much for making that site visit possible, and I think we can proceed very quickly. Do you want to just talk us through it quickly or?
Sure. Like we walked through on the site, we're basically doing replanting of all the flower beds in the backyard, expanding them in some places, maybe a foot, and then adding a historic gravel pathway around, which the house used to have before it potential renovation. And then just a few areas where we're adding some hardscapes, so some stepping stones across to our tea house, and then an outdoor kitchen down in what used to be an orchard, which we're proposing to bring back for maybe 6 trees back into the orchard, and then a set of steps just coming down from the tea house to connect it. So I think those are the main things here. Stephanie, there is that small like catch basin that is a small water feature. I don't know what this circular thing is on the plan, so we can ignore that. Those are the key things. The plantings were all done by Andrea Birmingham. She was on vacation the last one. I guess I should have invited her to this one, but it's all the stuff you've seen before, the native perennials primarily. There's a few new trees. There's 4 cherries in the orchard. I think there's it's hard for me to read this, but there's a few new trees, and then a lot of what we're there is being transplanted down in other parts of the yard, any plant material that we can save.
Did you, at the site visit, there were 2 options about the stone steps between the tea house and the house. Did you determine which way you wanted to go?
In terms of
Those slabs, whether they were
or offset, we ordered or we identified this reclaimed granite that has different sizes. So I think once it arrives, we would kind of figure out the best placement, how it looks on the site.
Right.
But I know you mentioned on the limestone, if you could line it up, it would be a design element that would match the house. But I think it kind of depends because it's all reclaimed. I think it kind of depends when it arrives.
That sounds great that it's natural and it's reclaimed and it's not. So that's good. Yeah.
We want it to look organic.
Right,
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah.
And I heard from at the visit that you're using these fabulous reclaimed steps as well
Yeah.
for the
the
stair. I mean,
treads,
that's
yeah.
fantastic.
We want it to match. There's another set of steps that are there. We want it to match as closely as possible to that. So the granite from other parts of our yard will be the kind of the rails. So it'll look like the old tuxedo stairs.
And earlier on, did you have?
Yeah, no, I put the site and I had no problems at all with the plants. It's Matthew showed them to me, and the selection of landscaping plantings look in line with everything we have approved in the past and would fit in nicely there. So no.
Were there any grasses, Christopher? Was there a type of grass that you wanted out or not? Or was it another Andrea Buckingham? Okay, good.
Miss Scanthus, she's sneak tries it.
I know.
I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write
It's
that.
called these days.
Oh, yeah.
How about your
I love the
opinion?
plan because it's naked without
Yeah.
there would have
Yeah.
been a nice path
Yeah.
there and the beds are so narrow. It just seemed like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Right. And then, it was a perfect place for the kitchen and the steps, and this is a very nice area. Yeah, I love the plan.
I was particularly happy that the kitchen is not visible from
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
from here, it's tucked against that wall, so you can't see it. So I think it doesn't disturb anything. The only one question is about that water feature. You were trying to find an antique one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is just
So,
Andrea, these are
right.
Andrea's kind of idea concepts, but we would find somewhere to buy one versus, a new.
Right.
looking.
The only other comment I had, a sort of code question, there's new steps going down. Do they need to have a handrail?
Anything over 3 rises, need some.
So yes, we would.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be important for your drunken guests.
So how do we go about,
Submit a sketch of what you found. I always suggest to try to move the map for the really exists on the property. That's really.
it looks like put stone steps like an iron. They're trying to tea house with wood.
I mean,
Try to match the tea house or match like an old stone.
I think, once you look around, now it's in your head, once you look around, you'll see something, and if we see something in another property, say, that's it, just copy that. I think the iron ones are sort of, you have strength and it's small, so they hide, whereas a wooden one would be,
That's what's on our front steps is iron.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
yeah, so something like that. So it is functional, so someone can, grab onto it and it's not, and it's going to serve the purpose.
Yeah.
But that, but that's not going to hold up the approval of this. That'll just be contingent that you do that, you submit that, and it satisfies John, I think.
Yeah, it says code, yeah.
Yeah, and then, but if it is something outrageously dramatic, and then John will recommend that you bring it to the bar. But if it's just matching,
So if there are no comments, I'd like to make a motion to approve today's plans as proposed by Andrea Buckingham, dated 4/8/2026 and revised 5/6/2026, as being consistent with the architecture of the house and very much consistent with the feeling of Tuxedo Park overall. And particularly the use of those wonderful old materials make a huge difference. And do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I
Okay. Thank you so much.
thank you.
much.
That'd be fantastic.
So the next applicant for today is Mrs. Farley about number 4 Ridge Road, please.
She's on Zoom.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, thank you. So can you just again read your names into the record so that
Yes.
Desiree can catch them?
Kevin Brody, architect.
Bernard,
And Shell Farley.
via Zoom.
So I know the fund is here once before. They presently have stucco Hampton rooms, and there is no garage and no porte cochere. So this winter was a particularly difficult one for them. They have basically a 1-lane driveway right now, so they were parking in front of the house. Cars, obviously weather, snow, and they've been living that way since they moved in. So they did explore, the possibility of adding a garage somewhere on the site, but the grading really doesn't allow for it, and the proximity to the main house, because this is a ballroom back here that steps down about 5 steps below the main house. And there would be just a long walk around to the front door. Basically, there's no direct access except through the basement. So they really wanted to be closer to the front of the house and have covering. So the port cochere was originally proposed in 1999, I believe. And there was a single car port cochere, single like a conical roof that just came back into the house, but they were concerned with not providing enough coverage for the full depth of the car and also for 2 cars wide, which is what they really wanted. So Karen widened the driveway, and then we widened the porte cochere to 21 feet outside dimension.
And you received approval from the BZA, right?
You did,
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah. 21 feet by 20 feet wide in the front, and
What's the height?
yeah, let me show you. And I apologize for not having, I know I submitted a statute in the 90s, so I did. And I brought some drawings here for you to get it into CAD. It's a lot of detail in a Bruce Price house, especially every window is a different size with different grill patterns.
So why do you think it's a Bruce Price house?
It is. Why do we think it
Yeah,
is?
where did you get that information? Because
Shell?
That's what we were always told, that it was a Bruce Price house.
Well,
I'm not convinced. Yeah, it's not one of the 4
it's
cottages.
not one of the original 4.
No.
Shell. That's the information that Shell provided to me.
Yeah, when we bought the house, we
Yeah.
were told it was a Bruce Price house.
Yeah, no, it's not one of the 4 Bruce Price ones.
I should ask for
It's-
some money back, Shell.
It's probably
I know.
because it was the Richard Mortimer. He built Mortimer in front of it, and this was relatives, the Frothinghams, and so it's
Well,
maybe
actually,
Hunt. The
What
same
I was
architect.
told, and you know much better than I, is that this was the original Mortimer house. And then
No.
when they made all their money, they built Mortimer. And then
No.
when that's what I had been told.
That's a nice legend, but I think
Uh-huh.
it's a Hunt and Hunt did Mortimer, I believe. I don't know whether it was Richard Howland Hunt or whatever, but yeah. But I'm not saying it's not a Bruce Price, but it's not one of those 4 cottages that he built.
Sure.
Bruce Price out of the conversation for right now. So this is the front elevation that we're proposing. There's a cedar skirt that wraps around, has a flare on it, and the new roof lines up with that cedar flare.
Okay.
Obviously, it would be a hip roof with a flat top that would wrap around 2 sides. This is a conical roof, also with cedar shakes. That would match the conical roof that's presently in slate. The whole main roof is in slate that exists on the side of the house. Same proportions, same dimensions, just brought down lower. Because there's a raise in the grade at the front of the house, the grade slopes down from the street to the driveway, and we're kind of pushing into that grade. So I put in a 2-foot high stone wall here, and there's roughly a foot of it sticking up facing ridge, and then about 2 feet facing the house on the back side of the wall. And propose to do that in a granite sort of pillow cut like the back. And have some photos of the back of the house to show you the stone that's there.
Just so you have an idea. In addition to putting a porte cochere on, they really want to improve the appearance at the front of the house.
Sure.
So yeah, on the side there's that.
There's some stone and there's a conical roof on
That's
top.
just.
Is it going to be that, or further down? It's very geometrically cut. So you're going to.
Here's the rear of the house, which has some, full
Isn't that so chic? I loved seeing that. That was wonderful.
brick and stone.
That
blend
is so
on the back.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of
That's-
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Side, that's the
That's how you.
side where we're proposing the portico. kind of
Right,
Element.
Here's a close-up of the
Yeah.
rear,
so nice.
stone on the rear.
Oh,
It's just
That
fabulous.
really is beautiful.
Now, is this where you're proposing a covered porch?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yeah, so unfortunately.
I know,
From inside,
right?
well, or fortunately for the
it's
Farleys, they
fortunate
can
because
enjoy
It's
it.
fortunate.
Because they're never out here. It's just, there's
Yeah.
nowhere to go out there, and that's one of the other things. They want to be able to enjoy their
Mhm.
backyard.
Yeah, and I know we haven't gotten to the rear of the house yet, but the rear of the house is pretty imposing. It's 3 stories high,
Mhm.
kind of flat. So I think this porch also helps kind of break up the rear facade a bit too. But it's up to the front.
And the height of it, is it, how are you going there?
Yeah, I'll get the scale on that.
Can you, tell me whether there was more of a porch there, wasn't there? At one point in the history of the house. Do you have any images of that? Or,
Shell, do you have any images of that? The original
No,
porch?
no. What we have obviously is we have the door. You can see the original door that went to the dining room, which has now been, sheetrocked. But you can see from the outside that there was a door there. And what we want to do is sort of match that door over on, the entry that will, be to the kitchen. And but so there was clearly a porch there because the door is still there. And there was also, of course, the porch, and I showed you the picture, when I was there a few months ago about the original porch off the front. That we had a picture of back from 1999, which they took off, but I think it needs to go back.
And I suspect that there may have been another window here that was blocked up. It's just a lot of.
Doesn't make sense, though.
Blankets.
No.
Yeah, and then that window would have foyer. Right about here, there was a staircase that goes up here too. So there is an outline. You can see that dashed line there. That's an outline of a stone cellar that I think may have been used as a foundation for the covered porch.
right, I see.
And it probably would have built on top of that, but I'm not saying that it was, but it's fairly flat grade. Let me see if I have a close-up picture of the grade at the front. Because there's a concrete roof on top of that cellar.
Yeah.
So it's pretty flat, over here. You can see how my depiction where the dashed line is the grade at the house and the heavy line is the grade in the foreground. But you can see it comes up to this roof leader here and then it kind of flattens out. It's that flat, only a few inches below the floor line of the house. So I assume that that's where the porch probably was.
I'm sorry, I interrupted earlier, because you were just answering Tom's question about the height.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So it's 6'5" to 7'5" showing in the front. It would be 8'5" to the beam if you were standing on the gravel driveway. And then from the gravel driveway up to the roof is 15 feet to the peak.
Oh, okay.
And then
What's the clear
here will
underneath?
do 12 feet. Clear underneath is 8 feet, 2 inches, 8 feet, 3 inches clear.
Okay. Do you have a side elevation?
So that's a work in progress, but I do have a sketch from the original. Sketch from the corner of Ridge, looking out. And there's the new, let me go back to the floor plan to get the visual a bit better.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it overwhelms the house, in my view.
It didn't appear so much on the old drawing, but when you're standing in the space, it does look like a big
House. Yeah, I mean, it does, that's that column there. And then the circular stone wall at that point there, so.
I would say you almost need to eliminate the space between the house and the where the cars are and push the porte cochere all the way up against the house. Because if you look at porte cocheres, you're right up against, you're very close to the house. And or at least cut that in half or something. And I think it's not doing you any favors. That's a really long mass. It almost looks like a rail car. It's big.
Is it because there's a cellar that you can't do that?
Right, exactly. Well,
That's the problem. I'm actually totally agree with you. I would love to have it right up next to the house.
Oh, so you're.
And what's the problem with the cellar? It's just too high, or?
the structure wouldn't handle
Yeah,
the loads and rows on top of it, so
Right.
we'd have to probably demo the top end of the cellar, drop it down, put a new, I think, Shell, correct me if I'm wrong, if that was to happen, you would just fill in the cellar with dirt and then block.
Yeah,
up
I mean, the problem is I have no idea what it was used for, but I mean, they've got this like rebar under there. Um, it's just, it's very odd, what they did, but yeah, and what it was used for. There's no purpose for it now.
And the basement's large as it is, and most of
Oh,
it's
basement's
finished.
huge.
Right, and then
Yeah.
the front half where the grading is by the front is
Mhm.
all covered in grade. There's no habitable space there, so I don't know why they put that
Right.
cellar there.
Yeah.
Could have been a root cellar maybe back in the
It could have
day,
been. I mean, but you can stand up in it.
1800s.
I mean, it's tall. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah, so.
I mean, is that an option to do that? Or would you be
Philip.
amenable to do that?
I guess the question is, what would be involved and what's the expense? I sort of want to know why they did that. It's so odd to me. It's because clearly somebody had the option of filling it and didn't do it. Hence the reason they put in rebar. And I'm a little worried about if it's going to affect the structure of the house. That's my biggest concern. There was a fire in the house, decades ago, and I just don't know if somehow that is like propping things up.
Yeah, you have a 22-inch thick rubble stone wall with mortar, so the rest of the house seems fine. So my gut is that it would support it.
Mhm.
But yeah, obviously it's entailed to do, right? It's full excavation, demolition, haul away, a lot of fill, compaction. The other thing we could do is leave it in place and put a concrete deck on top of it with waterproofing. Also not cheap, but possible.
It seems a hurdle that should be addressed now rather than later, because I mean, aesthetically, I think I'm in agreement with Billy that it sticks out too much. If it could go back, then I'd be very happy with it. I mean, I was one option I was thinking was getting rid of the round part to make it smaller, but then it speaks so well with the other round piece.
And from the front elevation, I think it really helps not make this just a big square box like you see in a hotel porte cochere, kind of breaks it up.
It kind of like, ooh,
Tom had the
sticks
same
out.
reaction, I think.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
accidentally met on the site on Sunday, and we both said, "Whoa, that is longer than it appears." But if Billy's idea could be just investigated as a possibility, I think it would solve all the problems. It would have two cars under it. It'd be closer, more snug to the house, and I think it could really enhance the overall house. It'd be so chic.
Yeah, it'd be lovely as opposed to it's something that's never going to be 100%. If it's closer, I think it will sing. It'll be an absolute improvement to the house. Bruce Price or his friend who did it would be happy and approve.
This is a circular drive, is that correct?
It's curved.
But you can enter and exit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just out of the box, to narrow this, if you increase the width and the cars went back to back, you cut it in half and you could expand it. And then, you'd have access.
I think the problem with the whole driveway, here, let me move this.
So you just make it wider.
Mhm.
The problem with the whole driveway though is, can we just push it back?
Yeah.
Is that, it's difficult to negotiate. It's a little bit steep here. And so you're asking, by doing that, somebody has to back out. And then you could see that lots of people
Right.
went off the edge over here. So she's also trying to make it passable by another car. And we don't even need a variance because the driveway's already wide as what we're figuring in, for the double width.
Yeah, it's a tough driveway to navigate and certainly.
Very, very tough.
One car wide.
Well, and right now what we're doing is my husband and I we've got this long driveway and we each have to back the car up, which I also feel like is a little dangerous because, we have this massive driveway, but you can only fit two cars in.
Mm-hmm.
Parking. Porte cochere without it. How it would look if we just tied it straight into the house.
Yeah, I mean that's If there was an original one there, that's what it would look like, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think there was an original one there. There was just, I think, a porch.
It was a
Sheldon,
porch.
didn't you have a picture?
I
of
had a
it?
picture. I showed it to everybody. Didn't you keep
Yeah,
the photos? Yeah, I had the photo from,
yeah, I don't have that, but.
if you would, yeah, while we're on the call, I think I have a picture of it on my phone. I can text it to you if you would like, and you can show it to
Yes,
everybody.
Yeah, let
All
me
right,
just.
here, let
check out
me,
my
yes.
text.
Mhm. I'll just stop the video. Okay, let me see if I can find the photo. Keep talking, just a sec.
John. Wi-Fi password. That's in the part.
Pseudo Park, lowercase, no space.
It's a busier road, and it's backing out, it wouldn't be so much.
No, yeah, you'd have to sort of back that way and, yeah.
All right, I found it. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Mhm.
So Mrs. Beard spent many hours ordering her automobiles outside Chastellux to turn. They all sat in the car and they went round and round to make sure they could turn properly. Seriously, there are letters about it with McKinney and why. That was all she was interested in, but now we know why.
But that,
It wouldn't hit the stone, it wouldn't hit the house.
that's a very important point, not just for cars, but for fire engines to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, you know, that you don't restrict that.
Oh, wait a minute, Shell.
Did you get it? I sent
Yeah.
you two
Yeah,
pictures. I also
got
sent
it.
it to Karen, so you each have one on your phone.
That's so chic, that house.
It does look like it's right on top of the cellar here.
And it looks like it's wide. It looks
know.
like it's
Yeah.
wider than the current. It's interesting. It's lovely.
Yeah. And that was from 1999.
Sorry, so that existed in 1999 and then it was taken out after that.
Jeff.
Yes.
Fire, I guess it was.
Oh, no, the fire was probably in like the 20s or 30s.
Oh, I see.
Oh, the fire was a long time before.
It definitely lines up, the edge of the porch definitely lines up with the cellar here. And then they brought it all the way out to the bump in the facade here. So
Yeah,
it's a little bit
That
wider.
makes
than
total
this,
sense.
you know,
Yeah, and that little window there, there was probably,
and it's
Yeah.
here, right,
Yeah, I
right on
agree
top of
with
the
that.
concrete wall where the curve is. Okay, thanks, Shell.
Okay.
So we're at this suggestion now about deep sixing is that the expression, the cellar, or putting the concrete over it in order to get the porte cochere closer to the house. I think Billy's suggestion, it makes total sense, and would that's what I'd be in favor of.
It'd be good if we could just check out that there's a possibility of doing that.
Well, I know there's a possibility of doing that. I just know that it's going to drive the cost up and then obviously we lose the tree.
Yeah, we're gonna
Here in
lose
the
both
corner.
trees.
I don't know if
You think
that's-
if you lose both the trees? I love those. And I know how you feel about the Japanese maples, but those are such old, beautiful, big trees.
You mean that Kosa dogwood opposite the maple? Yeah, that.
I love the dogwood. Absolutely. My mother wouldn't let me touch the dogwood.
close, you could.
We could probably save the one,
It's also Japanese.
Can you
It's
relocate
not-
them?
It's not like a.
How big is that?
they can be relocated, actually. They're very easy. They're so tough. They can be moved. And Shell, we might be able to save the big one on the corner, the one that's actually a nicer shape.
Do the curb cut really close
Yeah.
like that, you probably could get it.
And we might be
Well,
able to do
I
that.
guess the question I have is talking to an engineer, what would be involved? I mean, and how much, and again, I don't want to affect the foundation of the house. We already, I don't want any issues I'd like to fill it in rather than like blast it out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be much more economical to do that and just compact it. And I have no doubt that the stone walls, the 22-inch thick stone walls, and they've been there for 150
Yeah.
years. I don't think those are going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, the top of the wall at grade right now, or is it above grade?
It's that great.
It's at-
It's a
it's
little,
at grade.
The top of the cellar walls.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
so
little
the
lower.
top of the concrete slab is about 6 inches below grade. Has a
Oh.
little
Yeah,
covering of
right,
mulch
right.
and grade on top of
Yeah.
We
it.
were gonna do a
So-
green roof parterre.
Probably just, cut off the whole slab and just fill it in with some structural fill. And I think that would, take care of it, put some new drainage around it probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be great. No, because I saw somewhere there was a plan to put a fountain there or something,
Yes.
which I wasn't too happy about. It's adding.
Well, Shell was gonna find one just to hide this blank wall here, or not to
Uh-huh.
hide
Yeah, our
it.
problem is,
Just
exactly,
to
it's so
jazz it up.
shallow. You can't build anything. But yes, I've been, looking on, first dibs to find old fountains. But I agree with you. We're just trying to look for something since you can't really plant that area. But I guess maybe now we will be able to.
Yeah, we're getting one blank wall and that house porch there.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Take the porch off and it's like,
Mhm.
Boring
something's-
wall.
Right.
yeah, it's like missing a tooth.
It is. The house really needs something on the front. I mean, it just has a terrible sense of a non-existent sense of arrival.
The interior is much more beautiful, so you're surprised. Like,
We're
wow.
never allowed to look in any places. I wish we would.
You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely.
you.
But yeah, but it is funny. I've done the work on the inside and the outside just doesn't meet it. And it's certainly, and we can now talk about the backyard. I mean, the backyard, nobody's touched in decades.
Okay.
And yeah.
Put it right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, so this is, let me just move over. So where the idea is to create a very private oasis back here. We would like to, fence all the way to the property line with invisible, the less visible deer fence. It's also, that's also a pool enclosure fence. Here's a screened-in porch that Kevin designed that you access from the existing door right here. And the beauty of the porch is that this is so gorgeous that it'll be inside and people can really take advantage of how beautiful it is. Then there would be a small patio here, a very small pool. It would be I believe it's 12 by 30. And a small raised spa here. And then this would be a 4-foot patio around, and then this would be grass and a lot of plants here. These would be dark emerald green arborvitae, just something to give complete privacy to the yard. This is a 4-foot or less wall that goes around.
Sorry, is that existing or you're
No,
building
this
that?
is proposed.
Right. Okay.
This is proposed. And in another aspect of the project is to expand a parking area back here so that 2 cars could fit by bringing the wall all the way over and filling in this area here.
The patio, what will that be made of?
It would be bluestone.
And the wall?
The wall, we would like to do a stucco wall with a bluestone cap. It's really, it would be somewhat visible from the neighbor, but this is mostly wooded and we're keeping it. A lot of saplings, we're not changing it. This is rhododendron maximum that are eaten up by the deer, so I'm not sure. Maybe they'll fill in on the bottom, but
So that is also your land, but you're
mhm.
screening.
We're screening close to the house, right? Because
You're
it's
actually
quite a
cutting off
slope.
your own
Yes.
land.
Yeah.
Where's the
Okay.
existing stone patio now?
The existing woodstone patio is right here
Oh,
on
I
a
see.
weird angle.
Yeah, okay.
And it just feels very rough back there.
I can't figure out why they did the square, and it's a square at a strange angle, and we can't
It
figure out,
relates
is
to
there something
nothing.
underneath it? What were they covering up? I
Relates,
have no
relates
idea.
to did you go in the backyard? It relates to absolutely
Yeah.
It's not
nothing.
even
Nothing.
square. It's like a rhombus.
No, you
So
don't.
the way you can get back is this way, like right through here, like that.
And then the spa thing, is that flush?
That's gonna be raised about 18 inches. And then there'd be a little spillway into the,
And that would be bluestone or stucco or?
yes. Bluestone wall and bluestone coping, not stucco.
Like a hot tub?
Yes. Yep, exactly.
I saw the hemlocks there. You're planning to remove those. Is that because they're in the way or?
They're just all scrawny and eaten up by the deer. So, Shell would prefer something a little more manicured looking. It could be hemlocks that aren't eaten. We're happy to do, a couple hemlocks, but they're just not doing well. And I,
Also grading this area too.
a little
So
bit.
they'd have to
Yeah, plus, in order to get a little bit larger of a parking space for their son if he comes. They just want a place for a son and maybe a friend to park if they come.
I'm not an expert in this, but when you do a lot of work on a slope, and hard surfaces and excavations and grading and walls and that sort of thing, the neighbor down below sometimes suffers. The water may divert or something.
This is
So
gonna be actually an improvement because the water right now, it just goes on a big slope. And it just goes, there's nowhere for it to absorb in. So by making a flat area like this, we can also specify to have a fair amount of gravel, but and we can do a perk test. Several of the properties in the park perk so well, but so just by providing a flat spot, I think this will definitely help the water situation. There is no current problem. But creating a flat spot usually helps, especially with the way the soils perk around here.
but the reduction of those old hemlocks would help, absorb water. So I'm just wondering if you could,
Are there
replace
a
them.
lot more
Well, you have
trees?
planting, why don't you show them planting?
Yeah, we can.
Can you just, sorry, I'm sorry, are these, how many trees are you proposing to take away? That looks like quite a lot of.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
These trees are awful
7,
back
8,
here.
9, 10. They're terrible. 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. Let me see if I.
They're all below in size below the required size, or
They're 12 inches, so they're a little bigger. But they're not. They're very small. There's.
And how many trees aren't we replacing them
There
with
you
a
go.
lot more?
These
Like-
are.
Well, smaller bushes, I think, are gonna go on their plates, right, Karen? That's what you have.
So here we have emerald green arborvitaes. And there's several of them, and then these are just hydrangeas, but these are native. Ilex crenata. Wait, no, sorry, those are
the
boxwoods.
glabra,
because
oh,
I wanted to do native, but I'm afraid that the deer are gonna eat them. So
they
we
don't
wanted
need
to-
those. The Ilex glabra?
They don't.
No, they've
On
never,
my projects,
I
they
have
do.
a huge family of deers that they've.
You are very
And
lucky.
they don't touch them, they eat other things.
You are
No,
lucky.
They-
I had a big one that
Right?
didn't touch.
They
it.
don't-
So we'll be happy. I'll be happy to switch it to like a shamrock variety or something that doesn't get leggy. That would be fine, but my experience in Goshen, New York, they eat the Ilex
Well,
glaber.
they're not like it in my place, I mean,
They have different tastes everywhere, everywhere.
Too busy eating the rhododendrons and the hospitals.
They
Yeah,
don't touch those either, they go for the oak leaf hydrangeas only.
really, not the other hydrangeas? Or that you only have?
Oh, I just didn't know, it's the oak. leaf.
Wow, so on other projects in the park, they eat the other hydrangeas. They are weird. And they'll eat like the plant that I'm not putting in here, thankfully, green giants. They eat them like in a lot of places where they never ate them before, actually.
Oh.
I'm just a little concerned with, with the project that with these trees that, yes, they're not in perfect condition, the hemlocks, but I'm concerned that with all this new infrastructure, all this structure and pool and all these lines of arborvitae, that it's going to look very suburban. So that if some of the older trees were kept that weren't so perfect, you retain a little bit of the tuxedo patina. That the house screams beautifully of that, and it's going to be I don't know. The backyard may look not so appropriate.
Well, we are keeping, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, several big giant oak trees.
Huh.
We are keeping, you know, the important ones. We could keep some of these scrawny, ugly ones. These are only 6 inches. So for 6 inches, I mean, perhaps you, Shell, would want to put a few more white pines and hemlocks in.
'Cause there is there is a big white pine there. Is there? What is there's an evergreen somewhere around there,
Yes,
which
there is. We are taking that one big white pine out. Very good observation. It's it's over here. Because it would just drop needles and everything into the pool. So, and it's impossible to save that one.
that was a beauty. I mean,
That is fairly nice. But there's really nothing to, like, in order to get a somewhat of a usable flat area, that one,
right.
you had to
I-
make
I-
the decision to take that out.
I get that. It's just the privacy thing is just so regimental
Yes.
that it could be a little bit more naturalistic.
Well, because it's such a tight site, it was hard to have, it's hard to have privacy and a lawn, a little bit of a green, because they want some green in their backyard. So we're trying to create a feeling of a secret garden, that you're in a secret special place and you're not seeing the neighbor's house or the roof or anything. Because right now you just look right at the neighbor's house.
Right.
It's very suburban right now. There's no feeling of being in an oasis or anywhere.
Well, no, it's very Tuxedo Park. There's no, one house leads to the other. So, it's yes, it's not great for privacy, not privacy. So my recommendation would just, yes, I mean, that's fine. But it's just with the road here when driving down here, that there's, something there. So we don't see all this,
Shall we can add a few evergreen trees and to soften up the wall.
Yeah, just to soften it up a little bit more, sort of.
Yeah, to me, it's kind
We're
of
happy to.
regimented and built. Big parts and then the raised hot tub. I think it's a bit, to me, it'd be too much. That you've got the porch and the covered porch and all these different built up, over organized places. I love the Olmsted idea of the mantra of the Olmsted is that you shouldn't see the art. You should
It's
just
hard- it's
feel
hard.
the landscape. You should not see a landscape person having put in these regimented trees, but something that looks like nature created it. That's always what I love most about the park. So to me, this is quite regimented. A little wall. I mean, if it was my privacy, I would work with all those wonderful trees, and I would just plant really good understory things.
That can be done
I have
at
the
this
best
grade level.
buckeyes that are blossoming now that are
I love
just so fabulous.
Yes.
Imagine those shining with their white candles right now.
Yes, that they are gorgeous.
So you can have bladder nuts, you can have spice bushes, you can have high bush blueberries, and all of them together would just be a natural screen. They're even semi-evergreen, some of them, rather than.
Well, we were going for more of a formal look for, and there are formal gardens in the park, and that's what we were going for, a more formal look for the property.
No, that's fine. It's what you all want. We're just suggesting hide it.
Sure.
Do something over here from the road. So
I was gonna say,
it
what
is
this
soft.
area became like, just a stone, instead of
I-
stucco, to a
I
natural
would-
stone wall curved or something.
No curve, because that's gonna make it taller. If we're going downhill here,
Right, yeah, no,
no curve.
Yeah,
It gets
something.
too tall. But we can certainly add a couple of evergreens in a naturalistic way. This area is pretty full. This is lawn right now, so we could add a few pieces. I personally love the buckeyes, and I just walked through a forest of them, and they would be a nice addition, maybe even in here, so that when they pull into their parking area, in 20 years, they'll be able to see how big they are, but it takes a long
And the
time.
native dogwoods are understory trees.
The native dogwoods are great.
Yeah.
They're just, in the park, I've had a lot of trouble with the anthracnose on them.
Mm.
Yes,
I don't even know what that.
it's a disease that native dogwoods get from the humidity.
I have a lot of old ones at Chastellux.
And they're doing good?
They don't, I
So-
don't notice anything wrong.
Wow.
I need to check them more
That's
closely.
wonderful, though. If you
What
would
is it?
notice if they haven't,
Okay.
you would notice that. So, I mean, that, a couple of those would be fabulous. I did show some,
They shine through. And
I did show red bud because I find the red
Yeah.
bud to be very tough
And they're
and resilient.
understory too.
They're understory and there are red buds in the front of the property here and over here. And so they are wonderful for and I find them tough as nails. And in fact, I have them at my house. They made a little redwood forest. I have babies popping up all over the place. So in the spring, it's absolutely magical. So
Now there's what I'm gonna stop in a second. There's one tree I would recommend, and that's a sourwood.
I love sourwoods too. They're
are-
gorgeous.
Because they blossom right now. or
Right now, it's-
getting ready to
yes.
blossom, and they have these wonderful flowers that
Mhm.
really stand out amongst the other trees.
They're
So I have
fabulous.
extra if anyone's interested. So
We'll
sorry,
take some.
Yes, sourwoods are
and
gorgeous.
it's they make famous sourwood honey, you know.
Mhm.
We'll write that down.
So what anyone's comments?
I like the idea of maybe making that little parking area wall stone. Because that is, you will pick that up and that'll tie you right back to the house. And it'll feel connected. And then maybe the walls further in can be, the stucco or whatever. But I think that little piece of wall, that'd be kind of a nice. Yeah,
No, nothing more to add.
I think we could certainly
Oh.
do the stone and in that area, it's all up to Shell and but we can make it fade into the lens into the wall, just like what they did with the rock and the stone on the
It's like
house.
4 feet to 0 feet here, right?
Yes.
That section, so it's not that huge.
No,
Right, tip it
it's just,
down to
it's 4
here.
feet all, it's just 4 feet onto here.
6, 7 top of wall,
Mhm.
6, yeah, it's about 4 feet.
Mhm.
all the way around there.
Mhm.
So we also were wondering where this is going and also where the garden doors were going. There was a garden door.
Oh, okay, so there's
Okay.
one right here with a trellis because we're trying to keep the deer out. And to try to, we want it to be completely private. So there's the closed garden door. and
Is
then
that a
there's one
choice
over
or
here.
two different doors?
Yes, trellis just considering different
Oh,
options.
but they could be the same.
Yes.
Right.
But those were just her, right now, like.
And we're not wedded to anything. If you have any great ideas, by all means.
Is there a style of fence chosen yet?
It's going to be the hidden, like the invisible, the less visible deer fence. These are.
For the pool station.
Yeah, it'll have the cable across the top that withstands the weight of the,
Well, I think the board would like to see just a picture or diagram of what that's gonna look like. That's important.
okay, I can show you on a website what it looks like and,
You on the,
I kind of like the upper one.
yeah. I
The,
prefer-
this, the way that deer fence works, I don't know if you know about it, but the deer can't see it, so it's only 6 feet high. And so where you have something visible, you have to have a trellis because that's the spot where you'll jump in.
So that lends itself to a good hummingbird park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Campsis radicans or the
Yeah.
native honeysuckle that, I have a
love
hummingbird coming
Campsis
like
radicans.
every 5 minutes to mine.
Yeah.
I do, I have that too. Okay, let me
I-
just.
Yeah, I have ivy on the back of the house and I love it.
So the lamppost, where's the lamppost?
There's a couple in the front. Here, I'll show you this. Okay. So here is, so they would like to light up the front, here and here. And then here and here. For those. Yeah.
Full PL, full light?
Yeah, pole light,
Right
yeah.
here. one here, PL, it's kind of buried in the landscape.
We were searching for quite a while.
So you just have two?
Oh, sorry,
One
we'll make
here?
it bigger. We'll make it bigger.
Yeah, it's just one here and one here, right?
And so this goes on.
One here,
How tall is the light pole?
one here, sorry, one here and one here.
Pole
And they're
here.
gonna be, we figure like 8 feet tall. Plus the fixture.
Did
It's
you look-
something, I
Did you
mean,
look at the light regulations regarding dark sky
Dark sky
compliance and
compliance,
stuff?
certainly.
I'm sorry, where are they? At the entrances to the driveway?
there's, okay, there's one here, these dark,
John's plan.
the dark circles. Yeah, sorry.
Get a red, I'll
there
get a
was
red
one
pen.
right here, here.
I'll
Oh,
drop
it's
them
a green though. Here we go, like one like this, one here, and one here.
Oh, three of them.
Yes,
And the reason is for,
so you can see the exit.
Yeah, the next.
Really can.
Oh.
Lighting underneath the port cushion.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't put anything over there.
it's just a light lampposts.
A light.
I've never seen a lamppost that I've liked. It really can detract and kill the whole feeling of a is there an alternative that you were thinking of? Because it could.
Well, what can we do to light? I mean, my problem is I've literally had somebody over to the house once and they tripped and fell in the driveway because they couldn't see it. And thankfully they weren't hurt, but it scared me half to death. And so I'm like, what can we do? And I was told that you didn't want what looks like, airport, like runway lights. I'm looking for great suggestions.
Billy.
Is it this
Billy has
light?
all those suggestions. He's got all the answers. That's, we can relax. Okay.
The light up the underside of the portico, that'll.
Portico share will be
Yeah.
illuminated and then we have responses
Maybe-
on these.
The height would be important,
Okay,
maybe under, it needs to be a not normal height. Otherwise it looks suburban and sort of store-like. You want it to be, so that would be the important thing to kind of, you almost need to mock it up.
Yeah.
With the landscape, yeah,
Lightly.
yeah, yeah.
I
think that
Yeah,
might be.
yeah, that's sounding great. That it's almost like custom. It's not just an off the shelf, lamppost that could be in a suburban setting. That's what this smacks of. So yeah, something lower like that. It's not, as you say, the airport strip lighting, and it's not the suburban lighting. It's that thing in between. And you're suggesting of wood.
As a post, and then you have the lamp,
But that could be work beautifully. Yeah.
Did you see the ones that we saw on, which were basically looked very Gilded Age? They're evidently used in houses in Newport. They look like they're out of the
The one-
1920s.
yeah,
That's what we're
so
looking at right now.
we're looking
Okay.
at,
Yeah.
Copper.
because we've
Well, that was
also
discussed.
wanted to use some that actually have flame in it in the backyard, but I guess that might be out of question. But we were thinking about using a couple in the backyard to light up the pool area, and they would be actual gas light in them. With a similar, because this comes in both options, electric or gas, propane.
Propane.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, the house is just so stunning with the what do you call those windows? Cross hatching.
Oh, yeah.
The Bruce Price windows.
But
Yes.
the elements like this that are sort of Gilded Age, are a little bit adding too much to it. Detracting from it. Less is more.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So yeah, so that the focus is still on the house, and these little embellishments aren't screaming, "Look at me, I'm better than the house." They're not competing with it.
Yeah, because we were gonna use a smaller fixture like to hang down here and then another one to hang over here just to announce the pedestrian entrance. So people could see around.
People look within so far from the pool.
Because
Yeah, honestly, we don't have any requirements, but we don't want the neighbors to complain.
there's
So
no
close.
neighbor that's gonna complain over here. They're so far away.
I'll have to answer that phone call when it comes in.
Michelle's already talked about it. Because we put it with all the other utilities. There's really no, I mean, I had it down here, but it required another wall to do it and
Okay.
so we put it with the other utilities and we're just planning to totally screen
Good.
everything over there.
We need to look, we need to know what the fence is gonna look like around the.
Yes,
pool.
I'm gonna.
And I'm not
taking it
concerned
online
about,
right now, but it's very.
I'm not
it's
concerned about the deer, I'm concerned about just safety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can have, we can send you all the specs and you can let
And a
us
picture
know.
that the.
Of course, yep. The thing is, you can't really see it. So you see the landscape beyond, which is wonderful. I know we've used it at Cassiopos, the Beards, a couple other places in the park. It's I don't know if you know the Beard property, but it's outlining the tennis court and you don't see it at all. And that's the main reason why I like that, because you really see the landscape. Because other fences, I used to have to put like hedges on each side to hide it, but with this one, you can just do it one-sided.
The architecture of the porch, the
Want to go back to my plans now? We're proposing a side portico with a staircase that comes out of the kitchen to access the rear yard, and then a screen porch off of the basement level. Presently, there's a very steep servant stair here that's difficult to navigate. So we're proposing a 25-foot by 16-foot screen porch that would have 8x8 wood posts and then a screen system built into it. That's the side view of it. There's a little stone retaining wall here about 38 inches high. It's retaining soil as it sinks down the sides. We're continue this band. It's an 8-inch band with molding on top of it, and we can do like a sill mold water table that we continue to around here, so it kind of lines up with that. These are the existing kitchen windows, so they're up pretty high. So we did a cedar shake roof, hip roof on top of that, and then the 8x8 posts have a chamfer in the corners that would be routed into each corner here, and then the width of that is the same width as the half timbering above here, and will be painted the same color. That's the portico proposed in the background. So this is in the corner. What's going on here? Yeah, that's existing. That's a copper leader that's been cut and soldered about 26 times to conform to the shape.
That never clogs, I bet.
It's 100-something years old, so it's still good. Yeah, I know, right?
Exactly.
The railing and that's that's the stair, right?
Yeah, let me show you the, so right now there's a 4-foot by roughly 11-foot cantilever that it was added on at some point in time, but it's the bathroom. That cantilever's out into space. There's nothing underneath it. So I figured we'd take the columns and line it up with the walls above and then put in a wood porch with wood balusters, all again painted dark brown to match the half timbering on the house, and then painted wood lattice underneath it.
How far does this projection come? Is it,
It's 4 foot 4 inches, the actual wall, and then that's
So that's an existing wall, that overhang, right?
yeah. So here it's a 4 foot 4, and then the skirt where the flared skirt roof comes out about another 9 or 10 inches
Yeah.
past that.
skinny little columns? If it's it's probably too much to bracket. If you could, somehow support that in another fashion.
Oh, it doesn't even need support. I mean, it's purely decorative, those columns.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we could do this.
With the
on-
Just like a
bracket?
bracket thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I
I
think
think-
that's a super good idea.
Yeah, some form, because that would, they're elements in the house you could find, yeah, that would.
Yeah, that, or maybe a curve bracket. There are some curve brackets up top here. All right, I could play with that a little
Then
bit.
you wouldn't have the obstacle of a column.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
What
I like that.
the banister itself?
I think it's simple. I think
Yeah.
that's the right
The right
tactic.
tone, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't, it's you know, it needs to speak utilitarian. Because it's back is there in the rear garden, you know, it doesn't, it's not the front of the house, and it's a good language for this house.
So
Yeah.
what's this?
That's just painted wood lattice in between a wood frame, so we would have just 1x4s, a frame around it. This is the actual rim joist of the deck here, and then underneath it would just be a painted wood lattice.
Oh, look, and here's the inspiration for your lighting. So there's, I think this is a sculpture garden, Glenstone, outside of Washington, D.C. And in the parking lot, they have these like 4x4, this sort of support here. What do you call it?
Newel post.
The newel post. So they have newel posts in the parking lot, and they're partly carved inside with a light inside, so you don't see the actual light. So that you just have the light coming out from it, and so you don't notice them, but they provide the safety light, and they just blend in beautifully. So I think that would be a great addition, sort of that sort of size there.
Bollard.
Yeah.
Appears in the bollard with the recessed line.
A recess, that's the word. On the driveway instead of those pretty, competing Gilded Age things.
What was the name of the sculpture garden?
Glenstone.
Glenstone.
If you haven't been, it's just amazing. Best kept secret.
Yeah.
And then this would be a closed riser staircase, painted. Mahogany threads in the top surface, and then painted risers.
Okay.
There's an existing window here right now that we would remove and put in a French door.
Christopher, they already replaced the pretty Bruce Price windows in the kitchen. And I don't know what they did with them. Maybe they sold them decades ago.
Oh, wow.
Or the not Bruce Price.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Hunt, which is, he's not too shabby either. Yeah. Hunt he was the one that when Pierre Lorillard sold the Breakers to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Then it burned down. Then Hunt.
Oh, that's right. He designed it. Exactly.
So he's not too shabby at all. So,
I did some work on Alan McHugh's old house. You remember Alan
Mhm.
on Lorillard? And this house really has a lot of elements that are identical to that house. So I'm wondering if maybe that could be the same architect, but I'm not sure who that architect was either. So
that was one of the Stokes houses. And then opposite that was when I always get his name wrong. French Brown Lord.
James Brown Lord.
James Brown Lord, yeah. His house, the other architect, he lived opposite. But
Okay, so should we just wait for the next iteration to see how the most important aspect gets resolved, and then
yes, that is. With these tweaks, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful addition, functional as well. Bring the house back. Just as again, it's my just personal opinion. Just toning down the back, hiding the back a little bit, so that you can do what you want back there. It's your property, but just from the Pepperidge Road. A little bit more naturalistic screening so that it doesn't look like anything's happened, and keeps that tuxedo patina.
when do you think you might be able to come back? In a month or so? Or?
saying
I
about
think we might be able to do it in 2 weeks. Don't you think?
I'm on vacation for the next 2 weeks. I think a month is probably,
Well, maybe I
Yeah.
can talk to an engineer and try to figure out whether we can go forward, and figure that out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you can, great. If not, you work it out.
But it might be good to get some of the other details, confirmed and
Sure.
sorted out that we've been talking about. That's actually, quite a lot of little things that we
Right.
Well,
could
and
do
actually,
all at
maybe
once.
Karen and I can come back in 2 weeks, and also because I know I'd like to try to get started on the pool, because I know how much lead time they all require. And it would be nice to get it built before the ground freezes. I don't know if that's feasible.
Is that okay? If it's
It's fine with us.
Okay.
Whenever
Yeah.
you,
Okay. Yeah.
how 10 days, John, 10 days in advance, you drawing
Oh,
submitted
wait, yeah, when do you?
for the next BAR meeting?
Yeah, we would need planned by this upcoming Friday, the
Yeah.
next meeting, which is on the 20th.
Yeah, so it would have to be the meeting after that. Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is, but in terms of the pool and all, I mean, actually, what we're talking about is landscape. That was their question, was adding some of that landscape, right? Which I would think it could be doable on Friday.
We can add the landscape. We just have to figure out different kind of lighting for the swimming.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, you work
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And
We'll
be
talk.
in touch. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'll leave
Okay.
these with you. There's 3 copies here of the.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And then we'll come back in a
Sure.
month with, the stuff having to do with the Port Cochere.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks,
Thank you.
thanks for coming.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
You too.
Okay,
Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Well
Bar
deserved.
Harbor.
Ah,
See some good shingle style up there.
I love Bar Harbor. Thankfully, it's not rain.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of it, actually.
Yeah, right, we need that.
Easter famine.
Good night.
Tuxedo Park. rollerblade.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello, thanks for coming.
Hello. Next time,
Take a seat if you want to go.
you need to bring a little maquette with the Airstream. What's that?
So we're now going to the third applicant, and that's the Yarrow residence at 77 East Lake Road. And can you your name for the record, please?
Ina Jarrow.
And teacher. And
Hear that? Desiree?
Can you repeat their first names, please?
It's Dana and Tate Jarrow.
Thank you.
The architect is,
I am Jeffrey Small.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So thank you so much for making the time yesterday to show us around. That was super interesting.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Bear with me for just a second while I wrestle.
I
with this
really
thing.
appreciated what you said. One of the first things you said, that you wanted to make the house as a good part of something. Yeah, that's just such a nice idea, and I think it's gonna be great.
Well, I'm glad you guys came to see as it is now, so I hope you would understand the stuff we want to do to make it right. Yeah.
Okay, so. Let's get this. Try to, um, So we, last time we were here, we had a preliminary meeting. Since then, we've worked on the working drawings, given them to contractors, received prices, wrestled the scope of the project into submission. And we made some changes, and I'll go over.
Yes, that'd be super interesting to know what the changes are that you've come up with.
I thought maybe I could start by just giving a quick overview to refresh your memory of, as to what the basic project is, and then I'll go through the changes. So these are the existing elevations. These are proposed. The existing house is a 1.5 story cape, kind of trying to be a cape. It has a 1-story kitchen in the back here. So the biggest move is for us to continue the roof across, kind of extrude it across, to build a 2nd-story addition here, which would have dormers on each end. So it would have dormers on either side. So this is the end. This would be kind of removed, and then there'd be a new gable end here. So that's the basic move. The existing dormers stay. They get new siding and new trim. The front porch gets rebuilt, though the stone platform stays. The house gets new siding and new roofing, and new doors and windows. So that's kind of like the broad strokes of it. I have oh, and there's the garage as well. So this is the existing garage, and the proposed garage. So last time we were kind of vague about the garage, but now we've kind of settled on a scope for it. We're gonna keep the roof just as it is. We're gonna put new siding on it to match the house, and we're gonna put new doors on it, which will be much taller than the doors that are there now. So this was what we showed you last time. And so the big differences are that the pergola is no longer in the project. The house did have wood shingle siding. Now it has just painted clapboard siding. And the shutters are gone as well. So those are the big items. Let me see if there's anything else.
Oh, the back window, instead of doing the French door, you went to.
Yes, so right now we have a window here, and the earlier scheme, it was a French door.
The shutters,
Yes.
is that something that you don't want, or maybe in the future you would do it, or?
It was mainly a budget thing. We've really tried to
Is
to wrestle with the budget.
I don't know whether it complicates things, but that we could approve them so that if you did want to do them in the future, you could without having to come back, I guess. But
It's
that's
fine, it wouldn't hurt anything, right?
because it's because they're quite nice, yeah. So that would be, but then obviously, if you don't want to do them now, you don't.
As long as we're able to obtain approval with the version without the shutters.
Right?
Yeah,
No,
so-
absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
No.
that's what we're
Oh, yeah. No, we're not saying you have to do them. Just saying if you'd like to do them, yeah, we could. You knock yourselves out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the changes. Let's go to the site plan real quick to orient everybody. Sorry. Here it is. So we're keeping the footprint of the house the same. There are no additions or anything like that. There's a little existing deck in the front that's being removed. We are rebuilding the back steps from the kitchen there. There's as before, there's a little condenser corral over here to be screened with plantings. And then an existing oil tank there, which will screen with planting as well. The previous iteration had an outdoor shower over here, which we've removed. But we also have some new post and rail fencing along this retaining wall. There's a very steep drop off here. So it's kind of like a split rail fence, but the rails will match the rails that kind of go off the driveway.
Yeah, they're like stone.
So this, help yourself to that. I have some kind of rendered views of the model here. Sorry. Which you guys are welcome to pass these around or flip through them or whatever. Some of them are a little on the dark side, but they look better. You're welcome to scroll here. Somehow, they're lighter here, easier to read. You guys are welcome to look at the little. Sorry.
This is the.
The garage door, what's that going to be made of?
It's going to be wood. Bigger view of it.
These are existing.
It's a sectional overhead door.
Yeah.
With basically just vertical beads.
Yeah.
Panels with vertical beads. No windows. They're just kind of real simple. It's going to be painted.
Definitely an asymmetry, but there's something about the organization that I like.
Kind of color scheme is there. So essentially the color scheme is linen, clapboard, super white trim, the foundation paint sort of right. Yeah.
But that's when you say clapboard, it's wooden siding, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, this is that.
Yeah, that's good. So that's big improvement on what there is. That's good. It's it's always nice when people upgrade the materials. That's really wonderful.
Because it changes the scale, right? Those really large lines on the house, so
I
it's
like
going to
those.
moderate those lines, right? Yeah.
And I think there's the house is trying to go for an early American kind of appearance,
Right.
but it's killed by the big clapboard, and so 6-inch exposures. And then this is the front door, and then the treads for the back steps would be this.
You're also improving the windows that are currently aluminum, right?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
also.
The
These are French doors now? Or is this the,
There's sliding doors now.
oh, that's the kitchen, on the other side.
This is the living room.
That's when you come up the driveway.
Yeah.
so that-
That's, okay, that's what I thought. But those are doors now, right?
Yes,
They're
they're
gonna-
currently doors. It's just.
You're gonna stay doors, you're gonna keep them windows now, or you?
Well, our thought was, and this was Jeffrey's idea, that we liked the appearance of the French doors.
Yeah.
But they would open just as windows essentially.
Uh-huh.
So it wouldn't be like a door to something. So that, because we would remove the deck there, so it would just.
When you said remove the deck, that's what I was questioning.
Oh,
Doors
yeah.
to nowhere, basically. So basically
Yeah.
just to bring in air.
Light and air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
right, cool.
People, like, we get deliveries that are dropped there. People like think it's our front door. That's
Right.
why we went.
Well, they'll
that
see it
route.
first and then
Yeah,
go
it's
there. Yeah, yeah.
confusing. Yeah.
I mean, it's fall apart.
Yeah, it's all, I didn't look at it closely, yeah, was it, yeah, well,
What grounds the elevation? They need to be there.
Yeah.
So for the doors and windows, we're proposing painted wood Lincoln windows. I have kind of catalog cuts for everything here, which you submitted also. The one change that we've made since we submitted was the French doors. We had a Simpson French doors. We'd like to go with Lincoln French doors as well. Again, just kind of painted wood. Really the only difference is I think the sill. The Simpson doors had oak sills and these are metal. That's really the only difference.
Aluminum sills.
Yes.
The rest of the window is wood, but the sills are made of.
Correct, for the French doors, yeah.
Only the French doors, but
Only the
not the
French-
other windows.
No, the regular windows are just traditional
Oh.
painted, yeah. The so I have some details for all of that here. Let's see, for the plantings hiding the condenser corral and the oil tank. We were just thinking native shrubs, so that, the Tate and Dana could select some native shrubs from the list of the TEC, to kind of keep it simple. And maybe for foundation plantings as well. They do have to do some kind of waterproofing work on the uphill side of the foundation.
Are these button bushes, I see?
Well, I don't know. This is kind of like just a list
Yeah,
of,
so these
native-
are fantastic, but they are the most edible plants when it comes to deer. They will rip off the whole branches.
Mm.
I have double fences in mine upstate, and they love them. They're completely wonderful for butterflies, but it's too hard to protect them. Unfortunately, I think I couldn't recommend them. But this, my God, hazelnuts, so great. Who gave you this fabulous list?
you guys.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Elderberry.
Let's pat ourselves on the back.
It's a really good list. Such a good list.
Know our own work.
Anyway, yes, thank you. Very good. Okay. But
It's exciting, yes.
It is.
It's turning something that's not so great into something that's appropriate, beautiful, and thoughtfully done. And no, there was another house there before at a different angle. I have a picture here of it, and it speaks very well. Did you see it?
Never seen this is the original,
Sent it to you, it was a while ago.
oh, I have seen this.
You see the garage.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's you're on the same wavelength. So it's
sorry, what's this?
that was the original house that used to be there. That's the garage that's still there, and the house. If you remember the stone foundation.
Yeah.
That's where the house was, 90 degrees to where the current house is. And yeah, so it's this as if
Victim of fire as well, or?
I forget.
So does do you all feel that we might be ready to proceed?
I think so.
Or-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donna, was there anything we've missed?
No.
It's all architectural items. There's no zoning setbacks or lot coverage issues that we're aware of.
Yeah, so
It's all architectural.
absolutely.
If you don't mind, so here's some discussion of a different wood material or fascia.
Those names.
I'm sorry.
Polonia wood.
Is any of that being proposed? I just want to
Well,
clear the
so-
air now.
Keeping it kind of generic as painted wood. So the sample here is, this is finger jointed cedar, just because it was readily available, but given the cost of cedar, we were thinking of doing, using Polonia instead of, which is
Heard that.
I've never used it myself
That's
either.
for wood though?
It's just right, yeah,
Mhm.
it's, I think of it almost like exterior grade poplar. So it's very fast growing, but rot resistant, and very clear. I don't know, this is this is my first experience with it, but
Mhm.
we've been doing a lot of reading and
That's
the
interesting.
price is right, so
Yeah, it has a lot of the same characteristics of cedar.
Okay.
High performant, and it's from Asia, but it's been growing in North America for a long time, and it's becoming popular for siding and other uses.
I think.
Well, if you're happy to be guinea pigs, oh yeah.
No, based on what we got for cedar siding, I am happy to be the.
the profile is the same. So it would basically have the
Yeah.
same 6-inch exposure and
So what's it called?
Polonia.
Paulownia.
not polonium, that's poison they used to.
I was gonna say, it's bordering on that.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve today's architectural plans. Would you like to read in the date when they were completed?
Yes, the date is June 26th, 2026. The sheet numbers, well, there's a whole list of drawings here. Do you want me to read them off? Is that what you'd like? Or,
Well, have you submitted them all as they are to
Yes.
John?
yes,
So,
And nothing has changed as of tonight's meeting.
No.
okay, so as submitted to John Ledworth. I think we find that the project is very much an improvement on the existing property and very much in line with the architectural principles of Tuxedo Park. And particularly that you're using these much upgraded materials. It's a wonderful thing. So do I have a second in approving the plans?
Second.
Mhm.
All in favor? Christina? Christina votes in favor. Okay.
Excellent.
you so much.
Congratulations, guys. Yeah.
Finally.
So when's your housewarming party?
Oh my God, hopefully in the spring. Hi guys, thanks so much. It's been a
Great.
long journey, but
Yeah, no, this is exciting.
yeah, yeah, right.
Thank you, Richard, for your patience.
Oh, my pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed.
No, I
Reconnect with
thought
Tate
about
and Dana. I just realized we
yeah.
had lunch at the Palms
Yeah.
about a year ago. Good to catch up and congratulations to you on your renovation. I'm Lucy's.
Yes.
That's how I'm forever recognized as Lucy's husband, AKA Mr. Yang. For which I am forever grateful.
I'm Mr. Lucy as well.
Oh, both our boys did. Both our boys.
Is the one still there now?
Yeah, he graduated.
Okay.
He graduated, yeah. But clearly we got to catch up again.
Yeah,
Okay?
for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sorry, get out of your way.
Sure. Good evening, everyone.
So
Good evening.
we-
Welcome.
Good, thank you.
Now moving to the last applicant for today. For-
3 Acoma Road.
Oh my God, I'm so
3
sorry.
Acoma, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And would you like to read your
Sure.
name for the record?
Thank you. Richard Zena, 3 Acoma Road. And Shochiku Bai, as it is. Can I put this on here? And appreciate the borough's time this evening to consider our balcony restoration. And more importantly, your representation of our community. We appreciate it very, very much. So Lucy and I have been working on Shochiku for the better part of 8 years. Most of the work has been interior, but we do have a major exterior component to consider, and that's the restoration of our main balcony out front. Shochiku is a Japanese Tudor. Every element of its name has significance. Sho is pine, evergreen for life. Chiku is bamboo, strength and resilience. Bai is plum, ever fruitful. And we appreciate being stewards of this property. Temporary stewards, I guess, for all of us in our service to the community. We are endeavoring to replicate a traditional Japanese pattern. In fact, Lucy went on a little reconnaissance to Tokyo and to Kyoto just last February to take a look at a couple of renderings. And we are endeavoring to go with this schematic, which was sort of a mock-up of what our contractor has put together. And can walk through a couple of pictures if you like. Here is the current unfinished front. This is a picture of a tea house in Kyoto that we are endeavoring to replicate here.
I see.
In a traditional Japanese structure. Here's some other just screenshots of some designs that, we're also trying to, replicate loosely. And here is a Chat GPT version of what the final product might look like, but we could not quite get Chat GPT for all of its marvels to replicate this pattern. So it has a simpler pattern, but I think it will give you some illustration, of what the final presentation should look like.
And just this, the piece you're talking about, or is this sold in the whole thing?
Yes, that's the whole thing that we are talking about. I think John received a copy of the formal proposal from our contractor.
Right.
The woodwork will be done in cedar. It's 20 feet long in its front, 6 feet long in its width. So the entire structure will be 32 feet, 20 plus 6 plus 6, all constructed in cedar.
Right.
And of course, designed such that from a safety perspective, it is well secure and nothing can fit through the gaps.
Now, I'm a little confused. You showed us drawings that are different from this render. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. Chat GPT could not replicate.
That.
Chat GPT could not replicate
Oh, I see.
this design.
Right.
Okay, this is just to give you this is a rough illustration of what it might look like. But
Okay.
Chat GPT for all of its incredible functions
Yeah.
could not deliver that.
So roughly the height and sort of the scale, but the design of it is not this. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to get
yes, that's
firmly understood.
correct.
It's
That's correct.
what's on this.
It's this top
right.
this top rendering.
And a second question, what was there originally? Do we
You
know?
know-
Do we have an image?
Christopher has.
We might have a dated picture of what was there originally.
That's the one you have, right?
Yes. So
And
this is what was there originally.
And why do you not want to go with that?
Wife's prerogative, I think. She wants to go more traditional in terms of the Japanese structure.
So your wife's not here, and Walker and Gillette, the original architects, aren't here, so they can't fight it out. So we're going to have to fight it out on their behalf. So my preference would have been the original, but I understand that there's a desire to add in the flavor, in the style of the of the house. So of these ones that I'm this is the one you want, right?
This is the one we want,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a little bit over the top, in my opinion, for the house. But the house is pretty sober, so I think it can take it. As I say, I prefer the original one, so I'm not totally against it. But any other element in the future that you'd want to add, any chinoiserie element, I wouldn't be in favor of it because it would be, pushing it too much. So, it's pushing it a little bit. So, I'm not thrilled with it, but I wouldn't say no.
I appreciate and value your perspective, Christopher. Thank you.
But
So-
what do my colleagues think?
Well,
I don't have any
oh.
problem with it. I think it answers a very nice touch to the house, and it's a good improvement to having nothing there now.
That's for sure.
So, yeah, I think it blends in fine.
Well, I don't agree. I do agree that you've made a huge effort and that you're trying to bring the house in line somewhat with the Japanese garden, and it's thoughtful, and it's Sir William Chambers, and it's got a lot of chic to it. But if we stick to the guidelines, it does state very clearly in the 100 dash 54 that we must not mix in a different design taste into an existing building. And this is a Delano, and it's a Walker and Gillette building, which is it's not just, it's listed as one of the founding properties within the park. So I think this is the facade that is so visible from the street. So I personally would say we should really recreate what there was, because it's such a monument to fantastic architecture.
Absolutely. But it is a Japanese Tudor. This is entirely consistent with the Japanese intent of the house. It is known as one of the original founding Japanese Tudors. So
except that
I think
they
this is
didn't
consistent
put
with the intent, not antagonistic to the intent.
I don't see any other particularly Japanese features on the house. So
I think if you go back into the architectural, review, it is known as a Japanese Tudor. And you take a look at the front, portion here. I don't know what the right name of it is, but that's a gherkin roof. A Japanese hat is the top of the roof. That's the intent and design. All of its interior features.
It's not purely Japanese. It's found in Germany. It's found in France. It's found in Westchester County. It's found in Clubhouse Road, where I live.
Yes.
So that's not a purely Japanese element.
But it is clearly a Japanese Tudor, and it is profiled as a Japanese Tudor in all of the historical literature. And it has a beautiful Japanese garden in the front of it. The essence of the home is a Japanese essence. So I do not think that this is contrary to the spirit. It's endeavoring to be very faithful to the spirit.
Well, I think that had Walker and Gillette wanted a Japanese or Chinese inspired balcony, they would have put that there, but they deliberately chose their design. So
even in its name, Shochikubai, it was named explicitly that originally to underscore, the Japanese motif. So I think one can, possibly have reservation with the design. One can have a bias maybe for the original, but I don't think it's inconsistent, with the original intent of the property or its history.
Could I give my 2 cents?
Christina, what is your position?
So
Can you see? Have you been able to?
I can't see, so I don't, I looked at everything online. I can see everything
That's-
online. I have not seen the picture. But
my 2 cents is we are a board that is here to, sort of support the National Register of Historic Places designation. And if we go by the Secretary of the
You've
Interior,
seen that. Yeah, it's on the internet. Sorry.
if we go by the Secretary of the Interior standards and our code, we need to go by photographic evidence. And that's what we need to make our decisions on. And if we have a photograph that it shows us what was there, that we need to make every effort to make sure that that's what we put back. If we did not know, I hear you and I agree with you, and I think that you have an excellent argument if we didn't have that photograph. But because we do, we have an obligation as a board, in my opinion, to make sure that what was there goes back.
So I think that is a very valid and reasonable point. And if this was a radical departure from the original intent, I would have great sympathy with that expression. But at some point in this process, I will suggest also the prerogatives of the homeowners who have invested, 8 years of labor in endeavoring to restore one of Tuxedo Park's, landmark properties consistent with the original intent should also weigh into the process. And I will suggest with conviction that this proposal is consistent with the Japanese Tudor essence of the property.
And my counter to that is that they have the freedom to do whatever they want on the interior of the home and to, take hold and do the spirit inside. But on the outside, we as a board have an obligation to go by preservation standards.
And I would add to that Walker and Gillette are such a brilliant firm that I would love to have this house continue to be an example of their work, undiluted by other people's design preferences that laid over their original intent.
So I think that's a reasonable point. And, as Christopher said, Walker and Gillette are not here, to duke it out. I would not necessarily be surprised if, given the research that we've done, given the design that have been proposed, if we have not advanced something with respect to the Japanese Tudor nature of the original intent, I'm not sure Walker and Gillette ever made it to Tokyo or Kyoto. That might be a point of historical reference. But I think that's a point worth considering.
So would you say that we are ready to proceed to a vote, or
Billy,
would you?
what's your?
Who knows if they went to Japan? They were the architects. We are charged with preservation in this community, and as an architect, they did the IGA. They did a lot of buildings in the park. I can't support altering this building in this fashion. It's a very important house. You're absolutely correct. It's one of the most important houses in this, middle period, which we're about to put an exhibition together on. It's important that it be preserved in that fashion. That's my opinion.
And it's the visible aspect too. I hate to be a dull person who just tries to, it's not that I think you've been thoughtless or, or disrespectful. I think you really put your heart into it. But I think our job is to preserve it for generations to come. You see, I don't want to start chipping away at the dormer windows of Chastellux because they bother me a little bit. You know, I think a mistake was made due to the Mrs. Beard saying the wrong thing. But I'm not going to come here and say, I think I could be improving on McKim, Mead and White. You know, I think if it was something I don't like, I still respect the architect too much. And if it was an architectural mistake perpetrated by McKim, Mead and White, then it's an important learning tool for future architects. I think that's what those keystone houses are about, to be pure and to be there for generations to come. It's my view, but you know, this is a democratic board, and if you're willing to proceed to vote, we can do that. You know, I think, or would you like to give it some further thought and come back, or?
I can certainly, do that, consult with Lucy. I respect the judgment of this board. We respect the judgment of this board. I would regret that outcome, however, because I think what has been proposed is entirely consistent with the spirit and the historical legacy of the property, and one that is well researched to be sensitive to that history. So we'll accept the outcome.
I
and
think
we'll
that
move on.
we feel the pull of your conviction about this. Like, you have a great argument, but we have a very clear set of rules that we're supposed to follow. And your argument, because we have a picture of what it looked like, I cannot vote for this, even though I want to, because it doesn't match our list of what we're supposed to, the criteria that we're supposed to use to make our decision.
So the exact, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Please, Stephanie, please.
I was just going to read that one line.
Okay.
It says, in Article 154B, it says the board shall reject designs which mix design elements from various styles of architecture. So I think it's.
So I hear that. I do not think this is a mix in style of architecture. I'll suggest it's consistent with. And if we are being regimented or strict with respect to adherence to historical pictures, I've just sat through several presentations in which historical pictures were presented that we are deviating from. So it does not appear, entirely consistent, with even that recent history, limited history, I admit, of sitting in at the bar. So I know I'm making your jobs challenging.
Architectural element. This is a very specific architectural element on the front of your facade.
But it's a consistent, it's not mixing design, it's consistent with design.
Replacing in kind is the phrase that we use in historic preservation. And this is not, what you're proposing is not replacing in kind. It is coming up with a new design that you feel fits better with the story of the house.
What Stephanie read, though, was a mix of architectural style. And this is not a mix of architectural style.
She's reading one part of our code, but there are more parts of our code, and there are also the broader state level and federal level guidelines that we base our code on. So we can pull a lot of support for not approving this from other sources.
I do feel that there are no actual chinoiserie elements on this very strict, fabulously designed Tudor home. If you look at it from the side, it's kind of genius. It's very angular, and it plays with different size dentils, and there are no cross-hatched chinoiserie elements. I mean, this roof, as Billy has said, is not Chinese, and I don't see any other features on the house. But again, it's
So
Mhm.
I can go back to, I think, a 1908 version in an architectural registry. It's about a 2-page write-up in 1908 that frames Shochiku Bai as one of the original examples of Japanese Tudor architecture in the United States. And I can find that, submit it to the board if that would be helpful to your review in underscoring the consistency with historical precedent and past. Would that be a valuable resource?
Well, I think that argument, it's the main thing was I think the Japanese tea room that it refers to that was built inside, which is quite a stunning thing. So that was the key
Yes.
element.
There was also a Japanese tea house adjacent,
In the
to
garden.
the garden. We still have the foundation stones there. So any suggestion that, a Japanese theme is somehow mixing or contravening its historical past, I have to, take exception to. I do not think that that is correct.
I hear you completely, and it's just with this one element, it's a single element that there is this precedent, and so to replace it with something else as I agree completely in the spirit is one thing, but if there is that precedent, it is something that should be replicated.
So if we could show, as part of the artifacts here, that 1908 version of the architectural review that, heralds the work of Walker and Gillette, that highlights this house in its original name, Shochiku Bai, as one of the original, expressions of Japanese Tudor. And, consistent with some of the design features that we've shown, would that help in swaying the committee's view with respect to this proposal?
I don't think so, and that it would be if there was a photograph or a document of showing that balcony with something more chinoiserie as opposed to what Walker and Gillette decided purposely to do, that would sway it. But I haven't seen it.
Are we sure that picture is the original of the? What year was that? I have seen that, but I have no idea when that was or what may have preceded it.
I think this was when the other house burned down, and then that was the.
So I know there used to be a circular drive up front. I know there used to be some windows that came out quite aggressively, from what is the master bedroom where this, balcony is. Not this balcony, per se. So it may not be that is original to Walker and Gillette, either.
But that document has their name on it, Walker and Gillette, and it's they're showing what they've done, and it has the floor plan, and it has the balcony on it, so it has their name on it. So,
yeah, but the front of the house originally looked quite different than
there was
what it
another
does
house
now.
that burned down originally.
No, that's not. It's not a preceding house. It is absolutely our house, but it has a different facade to it. So I'm not sure that picture is even the original Walker and Gillette, facade, Christopher.
But
I'll double check.
A historic picture is what we need to go by. It doesn't matter if it's the original, it's what we've got that's actual fact. So that would be even if it came later because of circumstances, it's still historic, and it's still what we would need to base our decision on.
But if it was based on what Walker and Gillette did, something changed then from the original conception.
But it's still it's historic in its own right because it's photographic documentation.
And it says Walker and Gillette on it. So I think that And it's, it's an early photo. I don't think there's any, if we'd had a drawing of an earlier design, that would be one thing, but, this is the earliest actual hard evidence.
Is it useless? Is that?
Yes, that's what. This is no, that's the front of the house.
Right.
That's the front.
Right.
I'm talking the
balcony.
The balcony side. Yeah, this is the front of the house. I've seen pictures of a very, very different presentation there.
Photographs, if you can find those, would sway us if you had them.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I
So this is the front of the house. Let me go back. I will try and, come up with that 1908 architectural review heralding Shochiku-bai as a Japanese Tudor in its original intent. And we'll try and go through the archives and see if I can find an original, picture of where the balcony is right now. It was not even a balcony. It was these, crazy windows that sort of jutted out, and there was a circular drive there where the horses and carriages would come up and the like. Completely different than what it is now. This balcony, I'm going to suggest, possibly was put on after the original Walker and Gillette.
I'd love to see it because
I'm going to try and find that because I know you love this stuff, Christopher.
Oh, we all do.
And I
That's
know
why
where your heart is. So, we all want to do the right thing. I understand that and appreciate that. But I will suggest that this proposal is absolutely consistent, with the original intent of this home being a Japanese Tudor. It is not a mix, and it is not a contradiction of its history. So before we do any vote, why don't I go back and do some research?
No,
Okay?
Come and quick with
But
as much
it's
as you can.
Visual
Okay.
evidence is what's gonna count.
Okay. We will look to do that. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you so much.
I know I can be a little much sometimes.
No,
passion
is great. Passion.
I appreciate, your willingness to hear me out, and especially my wife out, because it's her interest that I am
You're gonna
representing.
have
I
to go
assure you.
home tonight,
Oh, yes.
You're gonna have to
Believe
sleep
me.
on the sofa or something.
I will.
It's terrible. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If I find that literature, shall I maybe email it to John?
Yes,
And
please.
John can pass it on to you?
Pictures.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you so
thank you
much.
for being such a good steward
Yes.
of the house. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Our pleasure. It is a
And
labor of
the
love
garden.
for
And
all
the
of us.
Oh, wait, I'm giving you a ride home.
Oh, are you? I will
I'm
so
gonna have
appreciate
to.
it.
Are you gonna?
Well, I so appreciate Carly's, he's a 5-star Uber driver, for
You'll
sure.
be very
But
pleased to hear that.
my son took the car into the city today, and originally I was just gonna walk through
The long walk.
torrential downpour. I said, well, I can't show up as like a wet rat before the bar. So.
You just,
I might have.
you're just gonna have to hold on while we do the minutes.
Take your time. Do I need to step out?
No, we just need to approve. You can stay right.
All right.
I'd like to move towards the approval of the minutes from the last bar meeting being this 15th of June.
Yes,
And has everyone had a chance to read through the minutes?
I wasn't there, so I'm going to abstain.
Yes.
I'd like to proceed to vote for the approval of the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor except Christopher, who's abstained?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor. So I'd like to make a motion to adjourn today's BAR meeting, it being, sorry, can you see the time, Mike?
7:29.
7:29. Do I have a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank
All
you.
in favor? Aye.
And we had to make sure it adjourned before